this revolutionized aluminium industry, right? So what Hall did, Hall added cryolite, which is Na3AlF6. He also added phosphor. We will understand the function of phosphor. Phosphor is calcium fluoride, right? Hall added cryolite and phosphor, which lowered melting point or fusion temperature of alumina to 950 degrees Celsius, right? 950 degrees Celsius, and aluminium formed at cathode is easily obtained since it is not in vapor state, right? So this is important, right? Now let's see how we will do electrolysis of alumina. This is the diagram, right? This is an electrolytic tank. We also call it electrolytic cell or voltameter, that we are already doing from our previous chapter, electrolysis. This is an electrolytic tank, right, which consists of a gas carbon lining. The one that in the dark lining that you see, this is of carbon lining, and this carbon lining will act as cathode, right? And this in red, this is electrolyte, which is molten alumina, cryolite plus phosphor. This is the electrolyte, molten alumina, cryolite and phosphor. This is the electrolyte. Why this cryolite is added? So as to maintain the fusion temperature, lower down the fusion temperature of alumina, right? And these are graphite rods, right, which will act as anode, right? So now it's a simple electrolysis process, right, which we are doing. So after Bayer's process, we have Hall's-Héroult process, or electrolytic reduction of alumina, which is Hall's-Héroult process. I mentioned it over here. So now in electrolysis, what is the electrolyte? Electrolyte is, we have 20% alumina, which is obtained after Bayer's process, and 60% we have cryolite, which is Na3AlF6, right? And we have 20% phosphor, which is calcium chloride. We also call it as phosphor, right? So this, and what is the function of cryolite? This will lower the fusion temperature from 250 to 950 degrees Celsius. Fusion temperature of alumina, right? And these together, Na3AlF6 plus calcium fluoride, which is phosphor, these together will act as solvent for alumina. Alumina will dissolve. It's kind of a solvent for alumina, and make and increase conductivity of Al2O3. It will increase conductivity of alumina. This cryolite and phosphor together will act as a solvent and increase the conductivity of alumina. And why we are increasing the conductivity of alumina? Because we know that aluminium oxide is a poor conductor of electricity, and since we are passing electricity through it, so it should be a good conductor of electricity. To make it a good conductor of electricity, we add calcium fluoride and cryolite. Calcium fluoride and this cryolite will ionize, right, to give ions. So it produces ions, right? We know that more ions means more electrical conductivity, right? So by increasing the number of ions, they will increase the electrolytic conductivity or electrical conductivity of alumina, right? So it increases the conductivity of alumina. This is very important. What does the alumina do and what does this do, right? Alumina and calcium fluoride. And we also do one thing, we will sprinkle powdered coke on this electrolyte. What that will do, that will prevent heat loss by radiation, and it will prevent the burning of anode. These are anodes. It will prevent burning of anode. Now why anode will burn or how it can burn, we will learn it when we will do electrode reactions in a moment, right? And we will sprinkle, this is important, this was asked many times in exam. Sprinkle powdered coke on electrolyte to first prevent heat loss by radiation, right? And second, it prevent burning of anode, right? Now this is electrolyte, and we know this is cathode, which is gas carbon lining, and these graphite rods are anode, right? And what is anode consist of here? Because we need all these things to go through the electrolysis process. Anode is anode is these graphite rods immersed in electrolyte, right? And what is cathode? This cathode is gas carbon lining, right? Now we know anode, cathode and electrolyte. Now we will see what are electrode reactions in this. Since we have in electrolyte we have Na3Al F6, just remember the percentages also. We have maximum percentage of cryolite. So Na3, right, Na3Al F6 will ionize to give you 3 sodium atoms, aluminium plus 6 fluoride ions, right? Then we have calcium fluoride, which will ionize to give you calcium ions and 2 fluoride ions. Then we have the third thing that we have is alumina, right? It will give you aluminium ions plus 3 oxide ions. These are ions present, right? So anions, cations would be, what all cations we have? Sodium ion, calcium ion and aluminium ions, right? So from these three, all these three will move to cathode. All these ions will move to cathode, but one of them will discharge, that is one of them will react at cathode. And if you look at electrochemical series, from among these sodium, calcium and aluminium is lower in electrochemical series. So the one which is lower will migrate to cathode and react, right? So we'll write it over here. Electrode reactions, these are electrode reactions, right? At cathode, what would be the reaction? This aluminium will move to cathode, will undergo reduction, right? It will gain 3 electrons and will form aluminium ions, right? So just since one aluminium, right, and what would be the reaction at anode, right? At anode we have oxide and fluoride ions. From among these, oxide will react at anode, right? So oxide will lose 2 electrons forming O, oxygen. Since the number of electrons are not same, right, in these cases, in this case, right, so if we make this 4, right, and this as one aluminium is gaining 3 electrons, so 4 will gain 12 electrons and form 4 aluminium atom, neutral atoms. This will deposit at cathode here, right? And since I mentioned in the beginning that this electrolytic tank has a sloping furnace, sloping bottom, right? It's a slope like this, sloping bottom. So this aluminium, which is molten as of now, when it is formed, it's in molten state. So this can be easily taken out of this tank since it has a sloping bottom and can be easily tapped out using this tab. This can easily be taken out using this tab, right? That is why it has a sloping bottom, so that molten aluminium can easily come out of this tank, right? So this is obtained at cathode and is removed. Now let's see the reaction at anode. We have oxide, right, from alumina. So this oxide will, since we have this 6, will react 6, oxide will lose 12 electrons. If one oxide is losing 2 electrons, 6 will lose 12 electrons to form 6 oxygen atoms. Since we have 6 oxygen atoms are equal to 3 oxygen molecules, right? 6 oxygen atoms can also be written as, these can also be written as 3 oxygen atoms plus 3 oxygen atoms, right, to form 3 oxygen molecules. This is obtained at anode, right? Now since we know that anode is of graphite, and graphite is what? Carbon. This anode is of graphite. This is graphite rods, right, which is of carbon only, right? And we know that, and now when we look at this reaction, this oxygen is forming at anode on these rods. So since this is carbon, so oxygen reacts with carbon, right, to form carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, right? So here, when this oxygen is formed at anode, that oxygen will react with oxygen, right, to form carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide further react with it to form carbon dioxide, right? React to form carbon dioxide, right? So anode, this is very important. Anode is getting consumed in the reaction. We know that anode is graphite rod, right? And oxygen, which is the product of electrolysis, is formed at anode and will react with anode, because oxygen reacts with carbon. Since anode is made up of carbon, right? So anode will react with carbon or graphite. Graphite is nothing but carbon, right? It will react with carbon to form carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, right? So as the electrolysis process will continue, these rods, anode rods, graphite rods, which is nothing but anode, which is graphite rods are anode. So anode will keep reacting with oxygen, right, to form carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. And in this process, this anode is getting used up in the reaction or consumed in the reaction, right? So slowly you will see that these anode rods will become thin, right? And these anode rods needs to be replaced from time to time, right? And we also said that we have sprinkled powdered coke, right, on the electrolyte, over the electrolytic or over the electrolyte. And one of the function of of powdered coke was to prevent the burning of anode, right? So now we can understood why anode can be burned, because oxygen is forming. We know that oxygen can burn, right? So oxygen has a tendency to burn these carbon rods. So just to lower that down, or just to prevent that, this powdered coke is added. Powdered coke will prevent the burning of anodes, right? So this is important. Due to this reaction, anode will get consumed in the reaction and needs to be replaced periodically, right? This needs to be replaced periodically. And one more important thing, the aluminium which is obtained at cathode here is 99.8% pure, right? So we need to purify it further, right? Just remember this. I'll just quickly recap this. Since alumina, melting point of aluminium oxide is 2050 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, aluminium that would be obtained would be in vapor state. So it is difficult to obtain aluminium and collect aluminium in vapor state. So what we do is, what Hall did, he added cryolite and phosphor. So what cryolite did, it lowered the fusion temperature or melting point of alumina from 2050 degrees Celsius to 950 degrees Celsius, right? Due to which the aluminium which is obtained at 950 degrees Celsius is not in vapor state, so it could easily be obtained, right? And electrolyte, so when electrolytic reduction of alumina was done with this cryolite and calcium fluoride, right, easily obtained. This is easily obtained as it is not in vapor state. So in this electrolytic tank, when we do electrolysis of fused alumina along with cryolite and calcium fluoride, this is the electrolyte: 20% alumina, 60% cryolite and 20% calcium fluoride, which is phosphor, right? So what this will do, this will lower the fusion temperature, right, to 950 degrees Celsius, and cryolite and calcium fluoride together will act as a solvent, right, for alumina and increase the conductivity of alumina. Since alumina is a bad conductor of electricity, right, so we added these cryolite and calcium fluoride will increase the number of ions, which will increase electrical conductivity, right? And we have also sprinkled powdered coke on electrolyte. It will do two things. First is it will prevent the loss of heat by radiation, and second is it will prevent the burning of anode. We have already understood how. Now anode in this electrolytic tank is these graphite rods which are suspended in this electrolyte, and cathode is this gas carbon lining, right? And the electrode reactions would be this cryolite will also ionize to give you sodium aluminium fluoride ion. Calcium fluoride will also form calcium fluoride, and alumina will form aluminium ions and oxide ions, right? So cations would be sodium, calcium, aluminium. Among this, all these three will migrate to cathode, but aluminium, being lower in electrochemical series, will discharge, forming aluminium, right, which is obtained or deposited at cathode. This aluminium obtained is 99.8% pure, right? And at anode, this oxide ions, right, will lose electrons, undergo oxidation, right, and will form oxygen gas, right? And this oxygen gas will react with graphite rods, which is of carbon, forming carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. And due to this reaction, anode will get consumed, right, or slowly get used up in this electrolytic process, right? Since they are getting used up, so they need to be replaced from time to time, right? This is all we need to know in electrolytic reduction of alumina. You can take this down. And since aluminium, which is obtained from after this electrolytic reduction, is 99.8% pure, we can further purify it, right? Now let's quickly see how we will further purify this aluminium. Since, okay, one thing we have already studied before, which is electro-refining of metals in chapter electrolysis. What is electro-refining of metals? if you recall electrorefining of copper, right? Electrorefining of metals is done to remove other metallic impurities from metals, right? So suppose if we have any metallic impurities in aluminium which is obtained after electrolytic reduction of alumina, it may have some metallic impurities which can further be, or which those impurities can be removed by electrorefining of alumina. Electrorefining of aluminium. So this is refining of aluminium. This is known as Hoops electrolytic process. This is the diagram, right? So in this, just look at the diagram. This diagram has 3 layers, right? Now just the anodes and cathode. Look at anode, cathode and electrolyte. This is nothing but electrorefining, which we have already done in previous chapter, electrolysis, right? You can easily go, if you want, you can go through my lecture first on electrorefining. What is electrorefining, right? So here in refining of aluminium, we have in this electrolytic tank, you will see 3 layers, right? The bottom layer, the middle layer and the top layer, right? The bottom layer is consist of impure aluminium, which is obtained from here, from electrolytic reduction. It's here at the bottom layer. This is molten aluminium. The red that you see, this is molten aluminium, impure molten aluminium, which is obtained from electrolytic reduction. The middle layer will consist of fluorides of sodium, barium and aluminium, right? This acts as electrolyte, right? So this is electrolyte, which is fluorides of sodium, barium and aluminium. And the bottom layer is anode, which is impure aluminium obtained from electrolytic reduction of aluminium. And at the top layer consists of pure cathode, right? Pure molten aluminium, right? Which is cathode. So cathode is pure aluminium, right? If you remember the earlier electrolytic process, we have anode, right, which is made up of impure metal, right? And we place pure metal at cathode, right? And impure metal from anode, right, will ionize. That anode will start ionize and the pure metal will ionize from anode and enter into electrolyte. From electrolyte it will move to cathode. So similar thing will happen here. Since this is anode, right, from the middle layer, I'll just remove this. From the middle layer, now we know this is anode and this is, I'll mention it over here, this is your electrolyte. From the since middle layer